Let's concentrate on some stocks which are in the news. IDBI Bank is one of them, and that's because they have permission now to pair their stake in CARE Ratings, and earlier, of course, they were also looking at selling their stake in NSE. Mr. B.K. Batra, Executive Director and Group Head Corporate Banking at IDBI Bank, joins us on the phone line. Mr. Batra, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. What's the deal with CARE? Are you all bringing down the stake? Have you all found buyers? How much are you likely to sell?
Well, we are currently holding about 16.6% in CARE. We are one of the significant shareholders in CARE. And today the market is doing well. CARE is doing well. So timing seems to be right to monetize some of this shareholding that we have been having. So that is the reason we have decided to go in for either a portion or the whole of the shareholding that we are having for sale.
Have you already got requests or have you already got replies?
We have not yet rolled out any process. We've only gone to the board and obtained board's approval to go ahead with this divestment. We would be evaluating our options and then we'll roll out the process for sale.
How much do you are you looking to raise via this stake sale?
Well, if we happen to sell the entire stake, then going by the current price, I think the amount could be somewhere between 600 to 700 crore. But we have not yet taken a final call whether to divest a portion of what we are holding or the whole of it.
And you're planning to sell your stake in NSE as well?
You are right. NSE also we are looking if we can get the right price and the right buyer, then we might, sell again there either a portion or the whole of nearly 5% that we are holding in NSE.
Okay. Your capital adequacy ratio currently is about 11.7. With these stake sales, what could your capital adequacy ratio rise to?
It will certainly improve. The point is that right now it is where you mentioned our Tier 1 is also slightly less than 8%, but with these stake sales, our profits will go up and therefore our capital adequacy on both fronts, Tier 1 and overall, should improve.
Okay. So you were just telling Lata about the other stakes that you have. What about the other non-core holdings? I understand that you have about 10% in Nepal Development Bank, 10% in Universal Commodity Exchange. OTC. Any more in OTC as well? Any more stake sales that are planned within this fiscal year itself?
Right now, perhaps no more. We do have a portfolio of strategic investments, but right now we are looking at only these two, that is CARE and NSE.
Okay. Mr. Batra, since we have you with us, what's the status of your loan to Ratnagiri Gas or Dabhol as the case may be? How much do they owe you? And is it in danger of slipping into NPL this quarter or next?
Well, Ratnagiri as a project is a very good project. As an asset, it's a really good asset, and even today, its per megawatt cost is comparable to the current projects being set up.
Provided
so
it gets gas at $4,
a viable project, provided you see the fuel, that is gas, that becomes available. So what actually we are expecting is the gas pooling arrangement that government is in the process of working out. If that gets finalized and the project starts getting gas so as to operate at least at half of its capacity initially, and later on the capacity utilization ramps up, it can come back to life and become viable and service all its debt as well.
Okay, but what is your exposure to the company?
Our exposure is around 2,000 crore.
Okay. And are you with the SBI chairman asking for the sale of the LNG plant?
We have suggested that as one of the options. You see, the point is that LNG terminal is an additional asset that this company has.
Yes.
Because initially the idea was to run it on imported gas. But then that has not worked out so far. The arrangement is to run it on domestic natural gas, but it can run on LNG also. So that option still is there.
Okay.
But the LNG plant to be completed, it requires some further investment. And only then it can be actually utilized to its full extent. It can then not only, meet the requirement of this power project, but maybe can, sell some of its gas in the market as well. LNG terminal is an additional asset available with this plant.
Okay, no, that is true, sir.
This plant as much more valuable.
Mr. Batra, on these hopes, lenders like yourselves and ICICI and SBI have been increasing your exposure to this plant, but it is now almost 20 years, or at least 16 years, and this is still a white elephant for y'all. So what's the next step? I mean, is it getting recognized as a bad loan in this or the next quarter? Maybe eventually to be restructured, but is that event happening? What should we expect with respect to this exposure?
Well, it's not that this plant has not operated well in the past. There was a stage it was operating at 100% capacity. It even prepaid a part of its loans to us. So, in fact, our existing exposure is less than where we started.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're talking about its present state, right now it is a standard. And we are working together with all stakeholders to keep it standard and restart this plant and make it a viable one.
Okay.
That effort is still on, and therefore my expectation is that it will continue to remain standard.
Okay. You are one of the largest lenders to the JP Associates Group as well. What is the status as far as that loan is concerned? What is the exact exposure and how much of a hit would you have to take?
Sorry, I could not hear the name.
The JP Associates Group.
Which group?
The Jaiprakash Associate Group.
Yes. We are one of the large lenders to Jaiprakash Group also. The good thing about the group is they have quite good assets, and the better thing about them is that they have been willing and have actually been selling some of their valuable assets and realizing those sale proceeds to pay down their debt. So I think this group is doing the right things, moving in the right direction, trying to contain its leverage and not increasing its debt. It should be well on its way to recovery.
Okay. So what is the exact exposure that you have currently?
Well, that I don't exactly remember, but it is significant. It should be, it should be one of our largest exposures.
Okay, in CARE itself, to come back to where you began, Mr. Batra, is it true that SBI and Canara Bank are also wanting to sell their stake along with you, and some PE players have shown interest?
None of those things has been discussed, but it is a fact that other shareholders, they have been gradually selling off their shareholding in the market. But right now, the decision that we have taken is to sell our stake. We have not to other stakeholders for joining together as of now.
Okay. So when will the formal bidding process begin, and when do you expect to complete this stake sale process?
Well, we are in the process of evaluating whether we should go for an offer for sale, which is one route available, or through open market. Preferably, we may go for offer for sale because that is a more expeditious route. We will get into this within the next few days. We'll get into this process within the next few days.
So you're not in conversation with Blackstone or Chris Capital or Bearings?
Right now, we are not talking to anybody.
All right. We'll leave it at that, Mr. Batra. Thank you very much for joining us with those details.